Why God? What is the value? Whether committee consensus of a benevolent power that works through humans, or giant fungus under Oregon, the value of opening up to the concept of God is in coming to the realization that we are not alone, establishing a connection to the universe, the experience of finding completion. As individuals, we may exist alone, but we are all alone together as a people. Faith is the answer to fear. Fear opposes love. To manipulate through fear is a betrayal of trust. What does God want? No big mystery, simply that we try to help each other. We decide to make God-like decisions, rescuing falling sparrows or putting the poor things out of their misery. Tolerance, giving, acceptance, forgiveness. This sounds a lot like pop psychology. That is my exact goal. Never underestimate the value of a pep talk and a pat on the ass. That is basically all we give to our brave soldiers heading over to Iraq, and more than they receive when they return. I want to state these ideas in their simplest form, reducing all complexity, because each of us has to find our own answers anyway. Start from here. I'm amazed how many people think they know me, even people who I've never talked with. Many people will think that I should not be able to choose the time and manner of my own death. My position is that I only get one death. I want it to be a good one. Wouldn't it be better to stand for something or make a statement rather than a fiery collision with some drunk driver? Are not smokers choosing death by lung cancer? Where's the dignity there? Are not the people that disregard the environment killing themselves and future generations? Here's the statement I want to make. If I am required to pay for your barbaric war, I choose not to live in your world. I refuse to finance the mass murder of innocent civilians who did nothing to threaten our country. I will not participate in your charade. My conscience will not allow me to be part of your crusade. There might be some who say it's a coward's way out. That opinion is so idiotic that it requires no response. From my point of view, I'm opening a new door. What is one more life thrown away in this sad and useless national tragedy? If one death can atone for anything in any small way, to say to the world, I apologize for what we have done to you. I am ashamed for the mayhem and turmoil caused by my country. I was alive when John F. Kennedy instilled hope into a generation, and I was a sorry witness to the final crushing of hope by Dick Cheney's puppet, himself a pawn of the real rulers, the financial plunderers and looters who profit from every calamity, following the template of Reagan's idiocracy. The upcoming elections are not a solution. Our two-party system is a failure of democracy. Our government has lost its way. Our founders tried to build a structure which allowed people to practice their own beliefs, as far as it did not negatively affect others. In this regard, the separation of church and state needs to be reviewed. This is a large part of the way that the world has gone wrong, the endless defining and dividing of things, micro-sub-categorization, sectarianism. The direction we need is a process of unification, integrating all people into a world body, respecting each individual. Business and industry have more power than ever before, and individuals have less. Clearly, the function of government is to protect the individual from hardship and disease, from zealots, from the exploitation, from monopoly, even from itself. Our leaders are not wise persons with integrity and vision. They are actors reading from teleprompters, whose highest goal is to stir up the mob. Our country slaughters Arabs, abandons New Orleans, and ignores the dying environment. Our economy is a house of cards, as hollow and fragile as our reputation around the world. We, as a nation, face the abyss of our own design. A coalition system, which includes a Green Party, would be an obvious better approach than our winner-take-all system. Direct electronic debate and balloting would be an improvement over our non-representative Congress. Consider that the French people actually have a voice, because they are willing to riot when the government doesn't listen to them. Any people anywhere, being inclined and having the power, have the right to rise up and shake off the existing government. Abraham Lincoln. With regard to those few who crossed my path carrying the extreme and unnecessary weight of animosity, they seemed by their efforts to be punishing themselves. As they acted out of the misery of their lives, it is now difficult to feel anything other than pity for them. Without fear, I go now to God. Your future is what you will choose today. That person's name was Malachi Richer. He was an experimental musician living in the Chicago area, though he was very well traveled. He'd gotten around the world quite a bit. On November 3rd, 2006, prior to the midterm elections, which awarded Democratic majority to both sides of Congress, not that you could tell, he went beside an off-ramp in Chicago, poured gasoline on himself, and burnt himself to death. Which made me think of another fictional Chicago character. I was thinking about the Sean Connery character in The Untouchables, and him grabbing Elliot Ness's jacket and saying, "What are you prepared to do?" as he died. Well, interested to see what you people thought of that. This is Zach Elliott at Feel Free to Argue.